Boop-a-doop. All right. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. Sunday, 5th of August, the year 2018. This will be an update video. I lost my phone at the McCarran Airport in Vegas. And to those of you who helped me during my GoFundMe, I just wanted everyone that contributed to know that my trip to Vegas was not funded by your donations. I was able to help a family member, and they were able to help me. The reason for the trip was threefold. One was to reunite with a very special person in my life. And in my brother's life. I wish he wouldn't have been sick the time I was there. Could have done a FaceTime phone call or something. But there's a woman there that I'm not ashamed to say that I absolutely adore. She introduced me to my brother in 1995, and it was one of those things that you just couldn't, it still doesn't make sense. It's just like not coincidence. Had I had certain things not happened, and had chance not been a part of it, or divine intervention, it would have never happened. So in my mind, this woman was a manifestation or a angel of God. Now that may sound crazy coming from me, and I know that people have some people get concerned about ex-Scientologists latching onto another belief system and following it blindly. You may notice that I have a rosary on my neck. This was given to me by my biological father's best friend's wife. Actually, while he was still alive, he gave it to me. These are Job's tears. And these particular ones, I still need to get this fixed. There's a piece missing. But these particular Job's tears, not sure if you're familiar with who Job is, but he was a loyal servant of God who basically got shafted by God every time he turned around, but he remained faithful. One of my favorite passages of the book of Job is 33, 15, and 16. If you want, you can look that up. If you're not into it, totally understand. I myself don't really subscribe to organized religion. And aside from Scientology, I didn't subscribe to organized religion since the 90s. So, but I do enjoy good philosophy, good theology, and good practice of being a human being on planet Earth, where things can be rather cruel, and the practice of being kind to one another. And I like the whole idea of saints, and you know, whether they exist in the form of which we're told, who knows. But I do like to consider the idea that everyone you meet serves a special purpose in your life. And so that being said, I went to Vegas and reconnected with this beautiful Brazilian woman who introduced me to my brother, indirectly and unexpectedly, and not on purpose. In fact, the first conversation we had was not a very friendly one. Really funny story. Still waking up. Okay. This will be a little longer video, as I haven't been able to update you guys in a while. Early to bed and early to rise makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. So I lost my phone at the McCarran airport, tried to track it. It didn't move for almost 2 weeks. I suspect it was run over because I lost it at the departure terminal. The other 2 reasons I went to Vegas was I figured since I was there, I would catch up with Sandrine, and you guys saw the video of that. That day, I don't know why, I was kind of nervous. Maybe it was because where I was staying, there's a big pit bull there, and I've been bitten by a pit bull once, and you can't see. But on my nose, there's a scar, and under here there's a scar. There's a pit bull bit me. Almost lashed down and ripped my face off completely. But while I was there, I made a bond with this dog, and it was good, and it's sort of like a healing process. It's great. So I took a lift down to see Sandrine, and which I might add was against the advisements of some other ex-Scientologists, but that's okay, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and my opinion from having talked to Sandrine was that, and still is that she's left a cult after, you know, having grown up in it. There's still going to be some beliefs that are there that may seem very, very awfully strange, even to those who grew up in it and left. Everyone deprograms at their own pace, and the important thing is that she's readjusting, you know, somewhat. You can't expect her to you can't expect anyone who's leaving a cult, especially having been raised in it, even if they're in bad standing with the cult, to have accumulated the kind of life skills that is required to adjust to society. So I was also a little nervous to go see her because I was afraid of how maladjusted she might be. To my pleasant surprise, she was not that maladjusted, as you can see in the video. She's closer to where she works. She can walk to where she works. And she's staying with some very nice religious people who are caring about her. And it's a good thing. It was a very heartwarming thing to see. especially in such a town like Las Vegas. So, cheers to Sandrine, and her successes, which are, she did a big thing, leaving Florida like she did. She did a big thing. It was very scary for her, and she's doing reasonably well. I mean, it's like throwing someone to the dogs, but she's not getting eaten up. So very happy to see that. And then the third reason I was there was to look for talent. The studio that I work for, which has been a studio that's been relatively stagnant for, I don't know, almost 10 years now, and also in the process of being built. Studios cost quite a bit of money to build, and in time. So I've over the years kept up with the progress of the studio, and I've shown the video of the studio, Octane Sound, and I was asked to be the manager of this studio for a variety of reasons. My experience in the entertainment business, my experience in dealing with celebrities, my experience in production, my musical experience, and my business experience. So the updates, okay, well, before I go to that, in Vegas, this beautiful Brazilian woman, I have to stop myself from gushing when I talk about her, because it was 23 years since I've seen her, and she holds a very, very special place in my heart. It will never go away. And I mean never. To the day I die, she will be in my heart. Timing is everything, and one person can make all the difference in the world. I truly believe that. So left the phone at the airport, come back home. There's some family situations that had to be dealt with, and again, everything happens for a reason. Had I had my phone at that time, I didn't need the distraction. It was nice to focus on just what's in front of me. What I thought was interesting was that without the phone, I noticed that there was a decrease in dopamine release in my brain. And there have been studies that show this stuff. I mean, scroll through a Facebook feed sometime, or a tech feed about Facebook's development, when they were developing Facebook, and how they were looking for dopamine triggers. And that trend doesn't stop at Facebook. So the phones are little dopamine machines. Every time you get a like or a comment or whatever, it's a little hit of dopamine. Which is addictive. When I was in the airport terminal, I was the only person that I could see without a phone. I noticed that I felt completely alone. It's an odd feeling being in a very large airport with a lot of people, feeling completely alone. The flight, same thing. Get home, not so much, because my family, especially my mom and dad. They're older to be my parents. I'm 37 years old, and in their uh, they're in their early 70s. So these are folks who grew up in the 50s and 60s. When I was growing up, we had a landline, and then Nintendo didn't come out until 89 or 88. I don't remember the exact year. Point being, you wanted stimulation, you go outside, you play, you ride a bike, and even more so in Louisiana. Louisiana tends to be, the figure I heard for years was 20 years behind every other state in the nation, and I think that's pretty much true. And on top of that, me and all of my siblings grew up on A1 agricultural land. My mother had a triangle right here on the porch, not this porch, but that was our notification to come home if we were in trouble or for dinner or whatever. And you could hear that triangle for 2 miles. That's a conservative. So I'm not going to get into the family business. Life happens, and things will ultimately resolve. And what I will get into is the next appointment that I have. Hopefully, the final checkup that I need to go to is in October 1st, unless it changes, which it may. And that's for the neurologist in New Orleans. So when all this started, and I, was looking to get my medical taken care of, this is one of the last steps. Johnny 5 is running great, and I did have a tire blowout, so I'm going to need some tires, but the engine's running great. Had a little battery problem, got that solved with the help of the engineer at the studio. And then I've got a job working at, you're gonna love this. It's a shame that I can't disclose everything, but some things need to remain personal, especially family-oriented stuff. There's been no deaths or anything. It's just some events have occurred that have changed the whole dynamic of family life where I'm at. So I'll be returning to work at the brew shop, which is Cowboy's business. And before anyone freaks out and says you got sucked back into an abusive relationship, I want everyone to know the truth is that this has been reconciled within myself. That's not to say that Cowboy and I have reconciled, but like my mother and my brother who had reconciled, that there is not much you can do about Cowboy. I've learned to accept myself. Sounds simple, but I lived what seems lifetimes of trying to please this person. So, and of course, if you've seen the cowboy videos, you know some of what occurred. And so if there's any of you upset right now that I'm going to be working for Cowboy, please don't, because this man literally has no power over my psyche anymore. And I mean that. There have been multiple situations where it is what it is right now, and it's not a negative thing. I'm very at peace with it all, and I'll leave it at that for right now. And you'll see firsthand the cowboy. And you may see that you may see exactly how convincing he is, and how well, I like to divide it into three things. I don't want to go too much into detail because the book is almost done. The book really just needs to be transcribed. I've got the timeline done, and it's very close to being complete. So I hope those of you who were interested in reading the book are still interested in checking it out. It's going to cover my whole life pretty much. So the talent in Vegas, very interesting encounter. Had a little program called CPS, Car Protective Services, where a young mechanic and his supervisor finds old abused cars, classic cars, and restores them. And it's a really cool concept, and we'll see how it turns out. I started editing some of the pre-production footage today, and I've got a team in Vegas working on it, and then of course we've got Octane Sound here. The mission series is permitted and ready to go. Spoke with the city of Beaumont, and there are 0 problems. I don't even have to get a permit to shoot on the street, which I thought was absolutely nuts. All I have to do is call the local police department, let them know where I'm shooting, anywhere on Calder Avenue, and no problems. I just want to know where it's happening in case they get a call, and they'll know that's what's going on. And the inside location is also secure and is available. The partner on that project is Morris Entertainment, and the studio, I guess the Actors Studio in Beaumont is closely tied with Morris Entertainment, and those will be the resources for recruiting and hiring the actors and actresses for the Mission series. Now, if you've ever watched The Office and you like that, I think that you'll like the Mission. Originally I was going to go pure drama, but I think there's enough drama going on, especially with miniseries and docu-series. You can watch my videos and many others about the horrors of Scientology, but I want to present an aspect that with all of the coverage and with all of the people who are learning and have learned about some of the policies and practices of Scientology, now that there's a frame of reference, there can be some comedy elements that will make it a little more accessible to people. And at the same time, there will be moments of personal clarity for the characters involved, and it's based on the Melrose mission. There's a album that's going to be finished soon. It's on the production schedule, but it's really was more part of the summer production schedule for the studio, and that album should be out before 2019. And then there are some other productions in the works. We've got some podcasts coming out that are geared more towards people who are interested in audio. We also acquired another partner, so we have 2 studios now, which will be greatly helpful. And the Children of Scientology website, so far as I know, I'm still a part of and working on. And as soon as we get the hard line run to the studio, I should be able to make some quick progress on that. And the hard line is it's going to be happening soon. I got some cable, and I didn't cut enough of it. And we also just need to pick up some conduit, dig a line, run it to the studio. We have internet out there, but a hard line makes it very easy for us to upload content and to keep a production schedule that is not necessarily front loaded, meaning we can put out regular content. As opposed to how normal studios work, where you work on a project for months, and you have, whenever you complete the project, it's done, and it's like, you have a whole season's worth of content to publish, which gives you time in turn to produce more. And with the second studio, this should be very doable. Now, since I've been out of work for a while, I start back to work Tuesday through Fridays, which will be my work schedule, and then Fridays through Mondays with the odd day off here and there to rest and relax in the studio. So fall will be busy. In a good way. Happy to see that the Linkage series is going to be starting soon. And I'm happy to see all the progress that's going on in regards to the Scientology, exposing it, and people leaving, people getting out of the abusive situations. That's really the goal, the end goal, aside from removing the tax exemption. But I've also kind of reached a point where not only my experiences in Scientology, but my experiences prior to that you would classify as abuse, I cannot any longer look at these situations other than things that taught me things, teachers. And I'm very grateful to teachers, whether at the time I felt were wrong or not. I've learned. I'm in no way and in no means condoning abuse or Scientology. All I'm saying is that from my personal point of view, these are lessons learned. And I'm grateful to have learned them, and thankful even that I've learned them. That's 30 minutes right there. I'll be reorganizing the Patreon, because this isn't. I mean, I have a job. This isn't GoFundMe content. This is entertainment content that is going to be produced, and we have no budget. You know, yeah, I'm a studio manager, and there's a lot of equipment that is worth a lot of money that people spent money on over the years, including myself, but there is no real budget for it. So when the Patreon is redesigned and can reflect what it is we're doing, I'll update you on that. In the meantime, you know, my only real expenses are gas, food. So if anyone wants to help me out, that's greatly appreciated. The PayPal is still the same, marcus.sawyer@gmail.com, and that always helps. So I've retrieved the phone. I have a phone to update you guys with. Very thankful for that. I've earned that and the trip to Vegas on my own merit. So, and it's through helping people. And I like to help people. And I know you do too. So, those are the projects that are going on. And I'm very excited about them. And sun's coming up. Early to bed, early to rise makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. Trying to abide by that principle. And before the camera decides to cut the video in two, so that I don't have to put two parts up, I'm going to end this video and tell you guys thank you for watching. Thank you for everything that you've done. I love you. Namaste. May the Holy Spirit be with you, and all those wonderful things.